Hello, welcome back to TSC Talks, the source cannabinoids inspired by the condition known as tuberous sclerosis complex. My name is Jill Woodworth, and I am your host. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today on the podcast, I have Laura and John of Herb Tech Pharmaceuticals. They are here to talk about their CBD product line on CBD and the phase change technology, the proprietary phase change technology that they have developed to allow quick and effective delivery of this line of topical CBD products to your system. They discuss the endocannabinoid system in detail and why their line of products are unique, infused with botanicals, each one specific for different activity states. We have be healthy, be empowered, be calm, be active, be intimate, and be sleepy. I will say that I got the chance to try them and they are awesome. So I'm going to let them talk about these products and their company and the phase change technology. You can find them at herbtechpharma.com, and I would highly encourage you to check it out, and I hope you enjoy this little discussion that we have. Thanks so much for tuning in, and take it away, John and Laura. Laura and John, thank you so much for being on TSC Talks. And you are here to talk about your business, Herb Tech Pharmaceuticals. So why don't you both introduce yourselves and give me a little bit of background?
Great. My name is Laura Stevens, and I am the Senior Vice President of Herb Tech. I have about 15 years in consumer goods and healthcare product development, and I've taken a lot of that experience with the science that's available to Herb Tech to really create some unique CBD topical products. And I'm really excited to share how effective and unique these products really are.
And my name is John Massis, and I'm the Chief Science Officer, or Chief Science Geek, as I like to refer myself for the company. I've been around in a number of pharmaceutical companies. We have developed a substantial number of patents, both nationally and internationally, in the pharmaceutical sector, and I just generally have been focused on advancements in the pharmaceutical development of various products. So that's my background. And what it makes us unique and what we're really focused on that is unique a little bit is really the story of Herb Tech and how Herb Tech came about. Herb Tech took a little bit of a different pathway from traditional CBD type companies.
Okay.
Most CBD type companies are spin-offs or outsourced from companies that are growing hemp. And obviously they need a place to sell the hemp to, so they created some basic products and kind of formed companies that way. Our development took a different pathway, and having been focused on the pharmaceutical sector, specifically with drug delivery technology, and in fact, working with a specialty pharmaceutical development company in Boston, Mass. That works on transdermal drug delivery technology, we thought that the application of principles developed there with that technology could be directly applicable for CBD. One of the big problems, obviously, with CBD is that if you smoke it, with all the problems with COVID-19 and everything else, obviously smoking is harmful to the lungs.
Right.
If you're ingesting it, the onset of action is terrible, and you got to push the active components through the walls of your stomach into your liver, to first pass liver effect, and then move it thereafter, in which case it's a highly inefficient and can be problematic as well. Topicals and transdermals could be an interesting pathway. It's safe, but you need true technology to be able to get the CBD to the receptors, the cannabidiol receptors. And when Laura approached me and said, gee, is there a way we could use the technology or develop other technology that would allow us to create a company that could effectively create products to have the benefits of the CBD and other botanicals as well, but the advanced technology that allowed the CBD and the botanicals to interact much more efficiently with the human body. And that's how Herb Tech was born. We function on the same focus as really a pharmaceutical business, but just applied to CBD and botanicals.
Okay. It's fascinating. And Laura, what made you ask that question of John or about the delivery system? What was your thought process about asking that? Because it sounds like you guys have, a unique connection with both your areas of expertise in bringing this forward.
Absolutely. So currently, CBD, there's just so many health benefits to it, and we all know it. However, the side effects of current delivery methods didn't overcome the benefits of the CBD,
Mhm.
the smoking, the amount of CBD that's needed to ingest to have an effect. Because again, as John had mentioned, when your stomach sort of chews up most of the CBD in your stomach, so
Right.
you're actually getting very little into your system. And then there's the side effects of having such a high dose that you're having to take. So there's stomach upset, there's onset of action. It can have effect in 10 minutes or it can be 6 hours.
Right.
It's very unpredictable. So those two methods they weren't efficient and they weren't working. So we said, wow, why can't we take, all the wellness of botanicals, not just CBD, all herbal extracts,
Okay.
and really make them more effective? Because we all want to use nature, but we have to be able to receive that nature and to receive it safely through the skin, which again will not happen unless you have some sort of emulsion technology. It will just sit on the outer layer of the skin, the dead skin, and it won't have an effect internally. So we're really trying to create something that's not only effective, but it's safe, and we've priced it so people can afford it. So I'm real excited to introduce this line of products to folks.
It sounds wonderful, especially in these times when it's more stressful and people probably are more hyper aware of aches and pains and whatnot. I know I am.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, so speaking of states is what we call them. There are a lot of the products out there, one size fits all. Take CBD for everything.
Sure.
So I said, well, there's CBD and other herbal extracts that can help you in certain situations, lifestyle situations throughout your day. So we created 6 different need states with other botanicals infused in this delivery system. One is Be Sleepy, melatonin, cameo lavender, Be Calm, again with St. John's wort. We have a Be Active. White willow is a precursor to aspirin for, put on muscles and joints. We have a Be Intimate, which is very different. And that's again infused with red ginseng. We have a Be Healthy and then a Be Empowered. And all these are not just infused with botanicals, but this is something we're very proud of. 1,000 mgs of CBD hemp extract. And again, just because someone says they have 1,000 mgs of extract, you have no idea how much CBD is in that extract. You have no idea unless the manufacturer tells you, and we tell you on our labels, 80 to 95% pure. And then you go to our website, there's a QR code on our bottles. You can see the significant analysis. And John can go into depth about the significant analysis. From lead to microbiology, every form and particles of the CBD. And again, it's all under 0.3 THC. Mm-hmm. We're very proud of our labels. We're very clear and precise instructions. We, again, tell you there's 20 mgs per pump.
Okay, that's great. I know that's really important, the dosing and the amount. A
lot of the other products are in waxes and balms in a jar, and you just have to stick your hand in there and apply it. Or it's in a tube. You have no idea how much CBD you're putting on. So therefore, you don't even know what is in your extract, and you don't know how much you're putting on. We're the opposite of that. We have meter dosing, airless pump. 1 pump equals 20 mgs of extract. We guarantee between 80 and 95% pure CBD, so it's between 16 and 19 mgs. Most of ours ended up coming out at 18, 19 mgs of pure CBD in every pump. We make no medical claims. We're very clear of that. So we really feel that in its full spectrum, we tell you exactly what it is. A lot of times you'll see CBD, but you have no idea if it's full spectrum or isolate.
Right. And can you just mention the full spectrum, what that means?
So basically, there are 3 forms that CBD comes in. And I think everyone's heard about the different forms: isolate, full spectrum, and broad spectrum. And how I discuss these products is very similar to, let's say, cane sugar, molasses, brown sugar, and white sugar. When you start off with the sugar cane, obviously it gets pressed and it turns into molasses, which is very thick and gummy and contains everything about the plant. Mm-hmm. That gets refined down into brown sugar, which has a little bit more about the plant, but it's, it doesn't have everything. And a lot of things have been filtered out and plant matter. And it's a little bit more refined, obviously. And then you get to white sugar, which is just basically the sugar with nothing really related to much of the plant in it. Well, CBD is very similar to that. Full spectrum is the first refinement that comes out of the plant. It contains everything that's in the plant. We feel that it's most desirable because it contains most of the things that are active within the plant itself. The next refinement is broad spectrum, and they pull out basically a tremendous amount of the plant. It's a little bit more refined. Doesn't contain all the plant matter and nutrients that are in it, but it contains a little bit more than, let's say, isolate, which is now 99.9% pure white crystalline CBD.
Right, like Epidiolex.
Exactly, which is pharmaceutically pure, but really doesn't contain much of the other actives, any of the terpenes, anything that's going to give any of the other benefits.
So the full spectrum is the molasses version of the sugar analysis.
Okay, that's great. I love that analogy. I don't think I've heard that before, but that's a good visual for me.
And we take it a step further, actually, because what we do is we actually contract with the CBD supplier, and we make sure that under contract, we have a guaranteed amount of CBD actually in it, because the other missing link to this whole thing is, whether it's full spectrum or broad spectrum, how much of the CBD is actually in that. And we have guarantees from our infuser, and we balance these out with certified analysis.
Of the flower.
Of everything, the flower, everything else on a full spectrum, but we guarantee and certify that we have 80 to 95% concentration of CBD in our full spectrum mix. So it's another level that we can guarantee to the consumer. Not only do we have all the parts of the plant, but we have a guaranteed amount of CBD in it, and that's all certified.
That's great.
And in addition to that, from a validation standpoint, that's one aspect of what we do relative to the CBD, but the full panel analysis that we do is much more along a CGMP type certification process. Our bases for these products are manufactured in a CGMP facility. Basically, that means that every aspect of the manufacturing process is validated. There's double signature on all the measurements and all the mixing steps. We then have that validated with microbiological challenge testing to make sure that it's not biologically contaminated. That then gets shipped to our CBD infuser partner, who then will blend in the CBD pursuant to our formulation. And then when it gets into full panel certification, we look for everything. We guarantee and certify the amount of actual CBD that's in it. We certify that it's in full compliance with the Pharm Act, meaning that there's less than 0.3% THC in it.
Okay.
And then we make sure that it's full panel. There's none of the heavy metals and leads and other things. And we also do, again, another microbiological challenge test to make sure and confirm that, in fact, that there is no microbiological contamination. So when someone is getting our product, they're getting it validated from the very beginning, from the sourcing of all the raw materials that go into the base all the way to the final step and every part in between. So they can rely on the consistency and the validation of the product.
That's impressive. And, I'm looking at your website, and you put all this information right up on there so you can see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of the process. The consumer wants to understand that the product that they're putting on their body is a pure product, and pure in the sense that it is exactly what the company says it is. And, we believe that talk is nice, but validation is key. And we encourage all the consumers of our products to basically go and check it out.
Yeah, I love your site, and it's very easy access. So the endocannabinoid system.
What is the endocannabinoid system? The endocannabinoid system is a biological receptor system that exists in the body. Now, receptor systems work by controlling and managing certain biological functions that take place within the body. So if those systems get out of whack and the receptors aren't getting the things that they need to operate properly, certain systems can start to function in an abnormal manner, which again causes various problems. The endocannabinoid system is focused throughout the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system throughout the body. And what that means basically is that deep in the skin, the nerve bundles within the skin contain a lot of endocannabinoid receptors. Now, what happens is when you get CBD there, they bind into those receptors and they allow certain biological processes to proceed normally. And without that, they don't. And that's why it's important to have CBD in your body. And by the way, a lot of people don't realize this. The human body does actually make CBD in tiny amounts.
So if everything's working right in your body, your endocannabinoid system is in homeostasis and it's okay, but very easily it can get thrown off.
That's correct. And that's where CBD and the utilization of CBD can actually be very helpful. And while we don't make medical claims about the product, we believe that for various need states, it could be very, very helpful for individuals that want to use this along with other botanicals to help their biological processes proceed normally within the body. And that's one of the things that we believe that CBD can be very helpful. And specifically, because the cannabinoid receptors are actually in the nerves, obviously it is something that can affect the nervous system. And those are various levels of different need states. So we think that it could be very beneficial for someone to utilize CBD into their daily routine. And we think that obviously our products are directly designed to be able to impact deep in the skin the endocannabinoid receptors that exist there.
Another interesting thing about the products and the feedback we've received is once you bring your body back into balance with, supplement it with maybe the CBD, that it's caused it to become off balance, which when that's off balance is when you get anxiety, you get pain, you get sleep, restlessness.
Yeah, that's really interesting. The phase change technology that has been developed around this product.
I think the focus with phase change, the phase change technology, and the important role that it plays here is basically the skin is a tremendous organ. It's actually the body's largest organ, and it's the protective organ for the body. So it's kind of the COVID-19 crisis has impacted, and everyone's aware, you basically pick up the virus through your mucous membranes. You don't pick it up through your skin. Why? Because the skin has the ability to protect the body. And if we didn't have the skin and its protection capability, everyone would probably be dead in about 5 minutes. So it's been an incredibly evolutionary organ for the body and probably underregarded by a lot of people. But to perform its protection function, the skin has multiple layers within it. And each layer is kind of designed to really form traps, so to speak, to keep harmful particles and foreign particles out of it. And the top layer of the skin, which is called the stratum corneum, is a lipophilic layer. And what lipophilic means is that it's fat-loving, it's oil. And the layer below it, which is the epidermis, is water-loving. So just like oil and water don't mix, anything that can penetrate through the oil can't penetrate into the water part of this. And so what's interesting is that forms the preliminary barrier to keep a lot of foreign particles out. So
that makes
with
sense.
a lot of creams and lotions that are on the marketplace today, they're very lipophilic. And so you rub them on and they look like they disappear. And all they do is penetrate the 1 or 2 microns of the stratum corneum, and then they stop because they can't get into the epidermis because it's water loving. So while a lot of these things look like they may disappear, they really don't. What we've created is a technology called phase change, where we take emulsion technology, which is comprised of both waters and oils, and we can change the way the oils and waters orient themselves in relationship to the skin as it's moving through. So it's kind of oil phased with the water on the inside of the oil bubbles, let's say, as it's moving through the stratum corneum. And then when it hits the epidermis, it reverses itself. And the water then becomes prominent, which is where the CBD and the botanicals are. And so it can penetrate into the epidermis. So our focus here is that for the first time with this new technology, we can actually have a very efficient delivery of the CBD and botanicals deep into the skin to impact the receptors that are there. And this is we think, a breakthrough technology in the herbal and CBD space.
There's a great, if you go to herbtechpharma.com, a video which in 2 minutes very quickly and easily explains and demonstrates how this works. There's even a little case study where you can see in water. And this really explains why other products aren't as effective and why this product is, basically.
Yeah, I had no idea. And I did watch the video, and it really is
informative.
I highly recommend that.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is, and you see the power of it, because obviously the coronavirus is a very contagious virus.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing about it is it has to penetrate into the mucous membranes inside your nose and through your eyes and through your mouth. It can't go through your skin. And it can't go through your skin because the skin is just that efficient of a protective organ for the body. And we've been able to work with it, so to speak, to allow it to accept the CBD and the other botanicals.
And unlike a lot of other products that are topicals, they're basically hydrating lotions. They're just there to hydrate the outer layer of skin. So they just say, put it all over your body. Well, with us, that's not our goal. This is actually a delivery method. So we want you to put it on your inner wrist and, a quarter size area, and it's just going to sit there and you rub it in your inner wrist. And this is actually, its purpose is to get it into your system, into your receptors, as it's not a hydrating lotion.
So you just put it in one small spot and it penetrates and does its job. So that's different than a
typical topical. Right?
Topical, exactly.
Obviously, for the muscle and joint lotion, you would put that on the muscle and joint in that area. And that product's called Be Active. The other products are meant to be put in an isolated spot. The rest is what we suggest.
One of the other things that's really great too is just the convenience of using this product. A lot of the balms, other creams, et cetera, are pasty, they're difficult to utilize, and they're not very convenient. This literally disappears very, very quickly. It's very convenient. There's no greasy residue. There's no mess. It's very discreet. Someone can utilize this and very efficiently and cleanly and quickly get the benefits of it without, a big mess of putting something that smells like menthol or is lousy to use.
Fascinating. How did you test it?
We went through various formulas, and we had a case study of people that we actually, started to sell it to it. And we knew we had something when people wanted to come back and purchase more or wanted more to use for certain need states. So when people wanted more, we knew we had something that works. Because sometimes you just do an interview or you ask people, did you like it? Well, they get, yeah, I think I liked it. But when they want more, now it worked.
Absolutely.
So, and our repeat business of this has been phenomenal. So once people use it, they can see the difference, and we get a lot of people coming back asking for more.
Yeah, I can imagine. So you've got other botanicals specific to the different products are part of the entourage. Is that correct?
Yes. And each product is very different. It smells, looks, feels very different. They're very distinct formulas. Unlike some other products, it's just the same product with a different percentage of something in it. These are very unique products and individually formulated with a lot of aromatherapy around the need states too, which has a overall wellness to it. I think the aromatherapy, to my surprise, does make a bit of a difference. So.
You say that's funny because I'm kind of a skeptic about that kind of thing, but
it surprisingly has an effect. I really thought I was not, that doesn't make a difference to me, but it really, especially when talking about something that's a lifestyle thing or a state of mind that you're in, aromatherapy has a part of that. So.
Yeah, I compare it almost to, when you're making coffee in the morning and you open up that can of coffee in the coffee, and that aroma from that coffee is just, it makes you feel energized.
Or the apple pie smell.
I think certain smells, obviously the sensation of smell is tied directly into the brain. So it does have some level of effect. So the aromatherapy component here, I think, is a spectacular one.
By surprise.
That's really nice to have it all in one product. You've just put a lot of thought and science bringing this a novel product. I'm really thrilled to have learned more about it. Hitting on the hemp and CBD.
Yeah, so let's talk about where does our hemp come from?
Right.
Our approach is a little differently since we're evolving from the pharmaceutical side of the business as opposed to, let's say, the hemp grow side of the business. We view hemp as a component, just an ingredient like any other ingredient in our formula. And so our focus is to source what we believe to be the best hemp that's out there. And every grower will tell you his hemp is the best. Well, that's not really the case. Our hemp is sourced from one of the largest and oldest manufacturers and growers in Kentucky, which was around not just for the 2018 Farm Bill, but also for the original federal research pilot program in 2014.
Wow.
So this is basically research grade hemp that's being grown and refined into what we believe to be, and what's been demonstrated through certification to us, one of the most purest forms of CBD and hemp extract that's on the marketplace today. So just like our botanical extracts are naturally grown, every component of the formulas has been sourced from what we believe and continually verify to be the best product components available.
Very impressive. If people want to buy your product, do they go right to your website? Is it sold in stores?
Our website is probably one of the best places to actually buy the product and to learn about the technology and the information to see about the validation.
Watch the video.
And watch the video. So we actually encourage people to go directly to the website. At the same token, we're in the process of increasing the number of retail locations that we have. And we're in the process of putting an affiliate program together as well that will basically allow us to have other people in the internet recommending the products to their friends and family.
But again, the website right now is the best place to get all the information and purchase the product.
Okay. And if people want more information about your company?
On the website, www.herbtechpharma.com, and they can log on to that site. There's contact information there if they want to follow up or have any questions. And they can see the plethora of information that's on the site.
The product line is called On CBD.
Excellent. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, got a lot of great information, and are going to go check out these products, these awesome products on herbtechpharma.com. Thanks, Laura and John. And I'm going to let this play out. Have a great day. Stay safe, and hear you next time on the podcast.